be disciplined, and so that I can still do the same thing at 3 o'clock this afternoon as I'm going to end up doing it 9 o'clock this morning. So it has to be disciplined and from that perspective, but there's no need to trip over it at all. Maybe it's the overall, I'm just pointing you in the right direction, and then you can build your own little scalping maneuvers after that. That's the fun of being a trader. I found that if you're looking for a 2-tick target, it's forgiving. Yeah, it's forgiving enough to go for a 2-tick target. You can regularly do that way up into the extreme 90% of the time with every opportunity. And if it's not 90%, then you make it 90%. And how do you do that? Well, you fudge where the entry is. You now put in a condition and rule as to where you want your entry so that it does give you the 2 ticks on a regular and consistent basis. It might eliminate some trades, but again, you can always manipulate things by saying, well, for 2, if I'm going to do a 2 lot, then I'll put 1 on here and 1 on here. So there are even ways to still, don't forget, we're scalping. That's the bottom line here. We're not trying to win the lottery. We're not trying even to make win goal necessarily on any trade. All we're trying to do is scalp, get a few extra ticks, and you certainly don't want to do that until you're all tired out and start making mistakes, but because you'll have plenty of opportunity. So that's really the point. In other words, if you're not using common sense in your approach, then I think you're really missing a whole lot, because it is a lot of common sense. A lot of the new people starting trading think there's so much discretion in it. Well, that's because they don't understand what they're doing in the first place, in my opinion. And it's not discretion. It's all based on rules. Rules. If I had the discretion, use discretion to get in. Discretion is jumping in right now. That's discretion. Do I want to jump in now or do I want to wait? That's discretion. No. There is no discretion. Not if you really analyze it and understand it. And that's really why I'm doing this every single day. I'm hoping you're going to pick up little odds and pieces off along the way to put it together so that it works for you in your way of looking at it, and your personality and everything, and your risk-reward ideas. See, risk-reward to me is only relative. When I look at risk-reward, I don't need to have 1-to-1 or 3 times the profit to 1. That's okay for the other guys who write books, and it sounds so good for new people starting off. It makes them really feel all fuzzy and warm, gives them a tingle. So that's fine. You can do that, but not in real life and in all practicability if you understand what you're trying to do. All I'm trying to do is make a profit. So how is the easiest way for me to make a profit? And we've got the long-term trade to get out of trouble when trouble gets big. That's our trend catcher. And we've got the short-term trade, regular, everyday, bread and butter trades off of Wave Rider. That's how we get our win goal. And then we got our scalping methods if we wanted to even go down further and just have some fun, pick up some extra cash along the way. But again, it's all with a means. It's all a means to an end. We're only trying to make a profit. We're not trying to build Rome in a day or anything like that. We're just trying to take a little bit here, get out of the way, feel good about what we're doing, and walk away profitably. And I think if you start thinking in those terms, you'll forget about risk. Risk is why everybody wants to hesitate, fail, not know what to do, because they feel that, boy, what if I lose? What if I have 10 losses in a row? It's the end of the world. Well, of course it would be. But how often do you think that's going to happen? And if it happens once, will it ever happen again? The answer is no, it won't. Why? Because you're going to be changing what the heck you're doing. Whatever you're doing obviously isn't working, so don't do it. That's the whole point. If you're not doing it, well, there's a reason, and there's a reason why it's failing, because you're not doing what is winning. So figure out what it is I should have done to make it win. And then realize that that's part of the rule. That's how I develop a system. I realize, what do I have to do to make it win? Now, does that sound consistent, and can I put it all together so that it's going to be consistent 3 weeks from now? And that's why there is no discretion, because once they're set in stone, they're there. That's why I don't fool around with trend catcher. When I see that happening, when I see the setup and it's going, boy, if I need that trade, if that's why I'm there sitting waiting for a trade, I don't fool around. See, look at our system rule says get in at the close. Now we could have gotten in anywhere along the line, but the system rule says get in at the close. Okay, you made your money. You didn't make it up from here, but you've already made your money and you're out. Why? Because you're trading for profit. You missed it. You fudge your exit. You don't fudge your entry. You fudge your exit. You see the difference? That's how you turn it into a profitable system. That's how you make money. That's how you can walk away a winner with every trade, because you're turning any kind of situation into a making money situation, forgetting how much money and forgetting what the risk is. There is no risk. What was the risk? Zero. What was the risk? One tick. $12.50 is what the risk was. Hello? And that's what you'll find every time you take a look at it. When you analyze it with that point of view. You see, the reason what holds people back, in my opinion anyway, in my experience in talking to so many, is that they just say, well, what if I lost? What if I lose this one and the next one and the next one? Well, if that's the way you want to start off trading, then perhaps you shouldn't be a trader, because it is dangerous and it is risky, and I'm the first to say that, and I'm the first to show the war wounds because of it. But hey, you finally come to the point and say, well, there's got to be now how can I make money out of getting in here and getting off down here? And the answer is jump off here, jump off with a target, 3 ticks. I mean, after all, that's only a wave rider trade anyway, isn't it? So can you get 3 ticks? Yeah. How about over here? I can get in here. Well, you might say, well, that's a good fill. Yeah, okay, 3 ticks, fine. 4 ticks, okay. I mean, you don't have to go for the lottery every time, and you don't have to wait and wait and wait. You say, well, do I want to take 6? Well, that's up to you, but I wouldn't be doing that. That's why you can trade 25 contracts and only take 4, or 3, or 2. Does it really matter? The bottom line is I want to make a profit. I want to eliminate any kind of risk situation. If I ever get in trouble because the market didn't do what I wanted it to do, then now I know what I have to be. A full-blown system trader that gets in and 100% follows all the rules exactly and precisely to the letter, the absolute letter of the law. And the best way we know how to do that is trading not at 1 o'clock in the morning, but trading at between 8 and 9. 8 and 9 is the best entry for trend catcher. And if I had to sit there for 13 weeks waiting for an 8 to 9 trade, then that's what I would do. Why? Because I don't want to gamble. I know that's the best place to get in. I know I won't have to wait 13 weeks. I'm being facetious, of course. But waiting for an entry is the important thing. Having patience according to your plan, and then executing your plan with discipline. That's all. Just jumping in because you got a signal and all of this, that's what losers do. We've done that. That's why I was a loser. I kept doing that. I see something and I do it. But if I wanted to optimize it because I needed it, I was in trouble, I had to get out of the hole, then now that's exactly why the manual says if you have one single loss with Wave Rider, don't you think it makes sense to optimize your profit potential by getting over to trend catcher and then sitting in the bush and waiting for your recovery, because it's going to be there and they're just going to hand it to you and it'll be guaranteed. So that's my approach. Now there's all kinds of ways of doing it above that and below that, but that's my approach.